Melissa, your free-range psychic. Today is June 25th, 2023. Today I'm going to do a guided reading on Adam Schiff. I'm using the CIro Marchetti Gilded Tarot cards. They're included in the Easy Tarot deck. You can find them on Amazon, and then there's a reading that from an oracle card from the Whispers of Healing deck by Angela Hartfield that the guides gave us. And I want to just briefly mention how crazy things have been this last week with progression of the Wagner group turning against Putin and almost invading Moscow. And then that fight on the Congress floor between Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, like two mean girls in a clique. You're not the boss of me. We were never together. That is so crazy. And that was about Marjorie Taylor Greene furious at Lauren Boebert for copying her move to impeachment, trying to get Congress to impeach Joe Biden. And here's Lauren Boebert presenting her own set of require or her own demands, for a bill. And that those are two narcissists just coming at each other. So that was crazy and funny to watch. But of course the potential civil war that apparently Prigozhin, who's the leader of the Wagner group, almost entered Moscow but decided not to, and there seemed to be some negotiation from an intermediary, but we still don't know what's really going to happen. But what my guides wanted to tell you about that is that's just one crack of many in the rulership, I should say, of Putin, or the dictatorship of Putin. It's just one crack, and then another crack's going to appear, and another crack, and it's just a weakened vessel. And I remember doing a reading on Putin where my guides kept on saying, Putin is bleeding and the sharks around him are smelling the blood. And that's kind of what's happening. It's not just Prigozhin. It's so many different people who are tired of this war that's stripped them and Russia of its economy, literally, and the people are fed up. So many people have died needlessly. And it's a folly, major folly, crazy war. So even though for the moment it seems that there's a truce, I think all hell's going to break loose again pretty soon. But it's the end. It's spelling the end of Russia and also the victory for Ukraine. So, yeah, that's what they wanted me to tell you. Let's get into the reading. The guides gave me this card to represent Adam Schiff, the Hierophant, and literally this is somebody who's serving an institution and who values this institution. So this congressperson who is like the highest level of vibration of service to the people here. And he's trying to guard this institution. If you see, he's standing in front of this stained glass door. He's trying to guard and to protect the sovereignty and the integrity, almost the sacredness. You know how Nancy Pelosi sees the Capitol as a sacred place for democracy, and this is Schiff, one of the people who's guarding our democracy here. Above the Nine of Wands, this is that stupid censure that the House did last week, purely because Schiff was defending democracy, was hunting down, he's on the January 6th committee. He's trying to, and he himself, by the way, was a victim of that the insurrection, or that attack. He was there with the other Congress people, and his life was in danger. And so he's relentlessly worked to root out the cause, the people involved, what was really going on, and trying to bring them to justice. And that's actually reflected in these two cards that are in the recent past, which is the King of Swords, and that's Schiff, and justice, trying to bring justice to our country so our democracy can survive. Because without justice, not going to, do so well, and he's being punished for that. But he's taking it and turning it around. Everything that the House Republicans seem to do has terrible rebounds. It comes back on them. Always comes back on them in a really bad way, whatever they try to do. And this will too. Because this is just affirming how much the GOP House, including the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, ally themselves with that attack on our Capitol and the horrible things that happened. And they ally themselves with Trump and with the prisoners, the January 6th insurrectionists that were caught. And this is just showing our nation, look, this is who they are, and I am being punished for defending our democracy. A very noble character here. Below, why are they doing it? The Five of Swords. This is the character of Trump and his minions, to destroy our democracy, to destroy our reputation, to destroy the Congress, to destroy all our executive institutions. And this is Matt Gaetz, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is Kevin McCarthy, and all doing Trump's bidding here, and Putin's bidding too, because it is connected to Putin, to bring down our government. So here they are, still in some seats of power. It's so frustrating, right? And this is the infighting that's going on. And even people in Congress who actually didn't want to censure Schiff were threatened with being primaried. And this is behind the scenes with the GOP. This constant conflict and tension. Of course, MTG and Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz against MTG, and all vying for power and all trying to not work in harmony and peace and with diplomacy and trying to figure things out, trying to settle differences, but really trying to force their will on each other. And it's total chaos here. And these are also the insurrectionists. And this is what's going on behind the scenes in Congress that's leading to this censure. They should be censured for censuring Adam Schiff. That's what I think. In the future, however, the Wheel of Fortune, and now the wheel turns, and I believe that this means, and what my guides said to me, is the Democrats getting power back in the House. Whatever power the GOP have, sorry for the glare, is they're going to lose, and the Democrats are going to gain ascendancy. And then the clarifying card is the Seven of Wands, and this is Adam Schiff defending our democracy and fighting against, even though there are many against him, he's as powerful, or much more effective than these wands, and these wands are all the traitorous GOP people, but they're not too bright, and they're not well organized, and even though they do hatch out these plots, they just they're gone in a puff of smoke, because they're all just smoke and mirrors. And so Adam Schiff is very aptly, very, very, very capably defending himself and his stance here. And he's got the higher ground. He's on the upper ground here. In the future, this is Ace of Wands. This is a Senate run, and the result is going to be Six of Wands. So the guides say he will win the seat for the Senate when he runs, and there will be victory, and we will have Senator Adam Schiff. in power. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. It is so frustrating to still see these traitors in power, but it's, we have a democracy, so the DOJ couldn't just arrest all of them, even though we wanted to see Trump and everybody, locked up already. We have a process, and even though people are upset with Merrick Garland, and there was a Washington Post article which was saying that he, acted too slow. I talked about it with my guides, and my guides say, and they want you to know, that article is not necessarily unbiased, and there are a lot of anonymous sources. I know that I listened to Allison Gill Mueller, she wrote, which is fantastic, daily, podcast news program. I love it so much. And she, and also some other people, if you can see, there's a thread on Twitter, had asked questions regarding that article because the timeline wasn't correct. The DOJ was investigating way before the Washington Post article, and that article was basically saying that the DOJ or Merrick Garland intentionally slow-walked all these investigations because he didn't want to incriminate a president, because of just, there are definitely a large group of people who in like the federal offices that don't believe that as a president who had been a sitting president should be prosecuted. But my guides say what really happened behind the scenes was there were so many Trumpers in the DOJ, and there were a lot of like booby traps set. There's a lot of things that were going on that were actually, how like when an army runs into defeat, they leave landmines behind to slow down the enemy. That's what my guides say happened with the Department of Justice. And we did see, even with the Secret Service and the FBI and different branches of government, even in the CIA, there were and are probably still Trumpites who are holding office that are obstructing justice. So how do you work that out? How do you find out who they are? How do you, within the confines of the law and their rights, even as just federal employees, how do you get rid of them, or how do you stop that? And there was a lot of that having to be dealt with. And don't forget, Merrick Garland himself, his appointment was slow-walked. So it was months and months before he got in. Then he gets in, and there's just all this obstruction and all this funny business going on. And as he sorts that out and clears the way, he knows that if he does act, they will accuse him of partisanship. And so people are upset that held him back, but you have to understand that was a setup anyway. They were going to do that. That was the plan. As soon as whoever gets in, whether it's Merrick Garland or somebody else, we're going to cry foul here. And I'm going to run for president, and this is how we're going to stop this investigation. So he had to circumvent that. That was going to be the battle cry, nevertheless. And he had to figure out how to move so that this could go forward. And then Jack Smith came out on the scene, and Merrick Garland picked Jack Smith, not just to get out of the way so that he didn't have to do anything. No, he chose Jack Smith because he knew Jack Smith was going to go ahead and do this thing and could not be accused of being partisan, and he could do it 100%. And so many people have been prosecuted. There's so much stuff that's still cooking. So whatever it looks like now behind the scenes, it's like a noose that gets pulled tighter and tighter and tighter, and it's being cast around everybody who participated. And it has to be this way. It could not be the higher ups first, even though that's what we would have liked. So justice is coming, and we can see it's coming with the indictments and so many indictments, really, not just the federal ones, but the state ones. And oh my goodness, what a year we're going to have with that. So my guides just wanted you to know that. Of course, grain of salt, nothing's written in stone in terms of me hearing my guides. I could always be wrong, but the guides are never wrong. The angels, never wrong. It's just we can be faulty communicators, faulty translators. But as far as I hear them, that's what they're telling me. Okay, so let's look at the Oracle card. And the Oracle card is Hidden Blessings. There's a gift in every adversity. Your love, intentions, prayers, good wishes, and realizations are held in the consciousness of the universe. This energy circulates around you and may act as a source of comfort to you. Additionally, it may show up as nourishment, wisdom, and teachings. You may draw on this energy whenever you are in need. This card brings the important reminder that you are not alone. Whether you need encouragement, support, or wisdom, you can draw on the teachings of others. The greatest blessings are the ones that are hidden within you, however. Your love and your heart will continue to grow until you attain happiness, healing, love, and enlightenment. This card expresses peace, calm, and trust through the color blue. This signifies possibly a friend showing up at the time of need. Every situation has a gift. Even in the darkest hour, there's a blessing. It may not yet be in your awareness, but it's there. There is hope, light, and help coming to you from all corners of your world. Hidden blessings. Okay, everybody. I love you. I hope you're having a peaceful time of it, even in all the stress. I want to remind everybody that I am available for personal readings. I read anything in the present, including past and present. People think I only read on past lives, but I just ask my guides, like I ask them to show me the cards, and they just tell me the information. So really, you can ask me anything. I'm a medium, and I love to introduce you to your guardian angels. Did I already say that my information is in the description box below or at the end of the musical interlude, which is coming up? Take care, everybody. I will see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.